I don't know how much longer Joel can make. Joel is old, baby. Joel ain't gonna make it onto the Expendables team. Like he aging, and he ain't Van Damme. He ain't Stallone. Like he need to sit down somewhere. What's up? Welcome back to my channel, King Nikki TV, where I give you commentary on popular movies and TV shows. In this video, I will be recapping episode 6 of the HBO series, The Last of Us. Now, right at the top of this episode, they give us a little flashback to everything, how everything ended last episode with Henry and Sam. And y'all, honestly, I'm still reeling from that. I'm still traumatized. I need the episode to start off with that. Like, we need the reminder, HBO. Like, I'm already traumatized. Now, we know that Joel has been trying to get to his brother. That is how this whole thing started, with him getting involved with Elle, was so that he could get the batteries, so that he could use the car, so that he could go rescue and save his brother, Uncle Tommy. Now, if you hear a noise in the background, that is my dog chewing on her toy. Excuse me. Now, with this episode, we see Joel and Ellie at this cabin house out in the middle of nowhere with this husband and wife living out there. And Joel is trying to get information. He's trying to figure out where they are and trying to get to his brother. Y'all, this interaction was so funny, so well written. It was just so odd to me how people would act in this time with somebody just popping up in your house. Like, it was pretty hilarious. Now, Joel and Ellie end up leaving and still heading in the direction that they're trying to find Tommy, even though this couple pretty much warns them about a group that don't go past the river. They leave these dead bodies. You don't want to run into these folks. Now, when Joel leaves, he starts getting some kind of like panic attack, heart attack. Y'all, I didn't know what it was. And I was even thinking, because the wife gave Joel them some soup. So I'm like, wait a minute, did she poison the soup? I didn't really know what to expect. But it seems like he's having kind of like these panic attacks or something like that. And he's literally in the middle of the panic attack, like can hardly breathe. And Ellie's just like, are you dying? Like, hold on now, you can't die. If you die, I'm screwed. But they end up traveling. We see them traveling, having just little banter between them. And they finally come across this bridge, and that's when they get surrounded by this group. Guys on the people, not because they're not all guys, but people are on horses. They were pointing guns. They tell Joel, drop your gun. Tell Ellie to take 5 steps behind him, which I was like, why are they making them like separate from each other? But of course, Joel is just like, look, we don't mean no harm. We just passing through. We can just go ahead and dip out. We can just go and be about our own business and bid you adieu. But they end up sending a dog over who can sniff out the infected. And he's like, look, you better take this bullet while you got the chance, because if this dog smells the infection on you, he gonna rip you apart. And if the dog smells Joel, everything is all good. Of course, we know that. So once he smells Joel, Joel is like, see, no infection. You can just let us go. But the guy's like, nah, not a girl. And we know that Ellie is, I don't know, like infected to some degree. She has been infected. She has been bitten, but she is immune. So not sure how that works with this infection smelling dog. So the dog starts to head over to Ellie. She kind of like look kind of panicked. She looking at Joel, and Joel just standing there. And I really had no clue how this was going to go. Like, obviously I know the dog ain't finna kill Elle. She's kind of like, you know, the star of the show, but I didn't know how this was finna go down, how we was finna get out of this. But next thing you know, Ellie just playing with the dog. Everything all good. But Joel ends up saying he's looking for his brother. One lady ends up asking him, like, what is your name? And I knew this black lady. She played in this movie that I loved from a while ago. I think, yeah, with Ron Perlman. Anyway, it was bugging me because I was like, I know that black lady, but yeah, I know her from that movie. But anyway, so they end up taking Joel and Ellie back to their little town. And this is when Joel finally finds his brother. Tommy! He just was like, oh, such a good moment. And Tommy's like, the hell are you doing out here? And Joel is like, bro, I came to rescue you. Y'all, I gotta tell you though, Tommy was rubbing me the wrong way and his wife was rubbing me the wrong way. I ain't like neither one of them. I didn't. So Tommy, Joel, Ellie, and the wife, I can't think of her name, are all sitting down in like this little area where other people in this building were eating, and the wife was getting on my nerve. We like having a little back and forth or whatever. Ellie being a smart ass. Some kid is like staring at her. And Joel is like, look, ma'am, I appreciate, you helping us. But I just have a moment amongst family. And then that's when Tommy grabbed her hand and like, well, she is family. Now, hold on now, bro. Congrats to y'all, but I'm talking about family. Get that bitch out of here. And I kind of feel like that was kind of rude. Like, if I'm living at the end of the world and I married this man and his brother come along who for all time, he been thinking you dead. He thought he had to come rescue you. I'm finna give them a moment without me. I'm gonna exit. It was just kind of annoying me. She felt very overbearing. Like, I don't want to hear no, well, actually, she felt, nah, bro, that's your family. I don't know that bitch. Like, go ahead. Let us have a moment. Like, I haven't seen my brother in months. At the end of the world, for all I knew, he was dead. I thought I had to rescue him. Can you give us a second? That irked my nerve. But anyway, so they end up still, she ain't giving them a minute alone. So she's like, let's take y'all on a tour or whatever of the little city. So they got the safety of, it was a gated community and they just built on the wall, expanded on it, and they live pretty self-contained, keep raiders away, even though they're pretty far out. So they don't really get many, they don't get many infected. And they're kind of just, a self-sustaining little community at the end of the world. Now, she finally ends up giving Tommy and Joel a moment alone. She takes Elle, go take a shower, whatever. Now, this is when Tommy was rubbing me the wrong way. Tommy and Joel by themselves having a conversation, and Joel is like, do you know what I had to go through these past few months trying to get to you? And Tommy hit her with the, bro, I'm having a baby. This was irking me because for all Joel know, you was off with the Fireflies. You went off to do something. You stopped communicating with me over the radio. And I'm sitting here like, so Tommy, was you just going to live the rest of your life here and never let your brother know what happened to you? So for all your brother know, you dead. And for all you know, your brother dead. And for all you know, your brother died trying to get to you. I just felt like I wish my sibling would. Like, this ain't like regular world where we can just email or shoot a text. Like, this is the end of the world. You could at least let me know that you're safe. That just really irked me. And then it kind of irked me the attitude that Tommy had, not even acknowledging that you just dipped out on your brother and he ain't know what happened to you. And then when he hits him with them having a baby, and he's like, I think I'll be a good dad. And Joel is like, I will see, or something like that. And Tommy gets upset like, well, that's all you got to say? And he's like, well, look, just because your life stopped don't mean mine got to stop. Obviously pertaining to the death of his daughter, which I'm saying, like, are you crazy? Like, are you serious? Like, of course, everybody deals with grief differently, but this man saw his daughter murdered right in front of him. Could not do anything to help her. That just kind of irks me. And then when Tommy was saying stuff like, well, in order for me to be here, they don't want people on the radio. We trying to keep away certain type of people. And Joel is like, oh, people like me? Like, all the stuff you judged me for, I did that to keep you alive. I did it to keep us alive. And I don't know, like, I wasn't feeling the brotherly love from Tommy. Like, my nigga, do you know what I went through? Thinking I needed to save you, thinking something happened. Like, you just stopped communicating with me. I didn't know what happened. And it just really irks me. And I really wanted Joe to be like, so was you just going to live here at paradise at the end of the world and have a baby and live a great life and just what? Never talk to me ever again, never know what happened to me, never let me know what happened to you. Like, am I tripping? But that seemed crazy. But anyway, more about how the wife was being overbearing and getting on my nerves. So Elle go take a shower. and she goes to where the black lady and Uncle Tommy live. And the lady is like, "Who's been cutting your hair?" Dumb question, which Ellie gave a sarcastic remark. But she's like, "Well, let me trim it." And Ellie's like, "No." She's like, "I just do the ends." Lady, I said no. Can you leave me alone? It just felt like she was being really, really pushy. And then she was also being judgmental with Joel because she's like, "I don't know what you doing with Joel. I ain't even gonna ask you, but you obviously don't know everything about him," because she ends up telling Ellie about Sarah's daughter that died, which Ellie didn't know. And I'm just like, lady, what are you doing? Like, I didn't understand the whole purpose of this conversation she was having with Elle, talking about be careful who you trust. What? Like, I didn't get what her thing is with Joel. And especially when Ellie was like, "Oh, things I don't know, like him killing people, I know that." And Tommy did the same thing. "Are you worried about him?" And then when she had the nerve to say, "Well, Tommy was just following Joel," I ain't like that. Like, don't judge Joel and then make allowances for Tommy for them doing pretty much the same thing. And when Tommy wanted to make different decisions from Joel, he did. Joel didn't want nothing to do with the Fireflies. Tommy made that decision. Like, Tommy making a lot of decisions that ain't got nothing to do with Joel. So why are you putting that decision on Joel? I don't know, y'all. That just kind of irked my nerve. Just her attitude, Tommy attitude. It was bothering me. I was just like, what kind of brotherly, warm welcome is this? And then, I don't know, she was being overbearing and she was getting on my nerve. But anyway, so Joel ends up having a conversation with Tommy later on, which Joel was trying to do something with his shoes. Y'all, what was he trying to do? Why it looked like he was like ripping the bottom off his shoe? I don't know what he was doing, y'all. But anyway, Tommy comes in and he starts to apologize for what he said earlier. And Joel ends up telling Tommy about he having these bad dreams, how he can't, he keeps not being able to save. Obviously, he couldn't save his daughter. He couldn't save Tess. And he ends up telling Tommy that Ellie got bit. She's immune. He saw her get bit months ago. And honestly, I was like, Joel, no. Like, don't tell him nothing, because I don't even like what I'm feeling from Tommy. And I definitely don't like what I'm feeling from his wife. But Tommy kept the secret. And Joel was pretty much saying, like, and Joel is getting old. Like, not getting old. He old. I think he said he's 50 or he's 60. I can't remember. But a previous episode, he said how old he is. And so he wants Tommy to take Ellie. He's like, I'm just gonna get her killed. I can't hear well. I'm moving slow. You still young. You can make this trip. And he was even asking Tommy before he dropped all this, like, what kind of trip is it to this college where the Fireflies are? Have people made it back? And Tommy's like, yeah, some danger, but nothing you can't handle. Yeah, people have gone and made it back. So he ends up telling Tommy, like, look, I'll never ask you for anything again. This was Tess' dying wish. What was I supposed to do? And you can't tell, what's her name, Maria, y'all? I think her name was Maria. I feel like that just popped in my head. I think his wife named Maria, but he was like, you can't tell your wife, you got to just take her. Y'all leave at dawn. And I was shocked that Tommy was really going to do it, because like I said, it ain't feel like a very warm, brotherly welcome, but I was shocked that he was actually going to do it. He was actually going to just dip out and leave, obviously not leave forever, but dip out and leave his pregnant wife without saying a word. I was surprised, but yeah, Tommy was down to do it. Now, once Joel gets to Elle's room and started trying to tell her what's going on, Elle already hip to the game. She like, what is you doing here? Like, if you gonna just drop me like a hot potato, go ahead and just do it. And she ends up saying, I'm not her. I'm not your daughter. And this was such a great scene. Obviously all the acting has been top tier, but this scene was so freaking good. And I feel like it was a lot in Joel saying, you have no idea what loss is. Obviously, I kind of feel like nothing, I kind of want to say nothing trumps losing your child. Like, I kind of want to say nothing trumps that. But I mean, grief is grief. Losing people is losing people. So I get him saying you don't know what loss is. But I feel like it was a lot said in that, because also you don't know what Elle has been through. Like, even a previous episode when Elle kind of alluded to, this wasn't the first time I had to hurt somebody and stuff like that. Like, you don't know. And I'm pretty sure her, like, being a kid at the end of the world, growing up in the QZ or whatever, sure it wasn't, unicorns and rainbows. But anyway, so Joel ends up, Ellie was like, everybody she's ever cared about, loved, has either died or left her except Joel, which child add Joel to the list. Because, at this moment, he leaving you too. But Joel is just like, you right, you not my daughter. I'm definitely not your daddy. He chucked the deuces. You going with Tommy. Which I kind of felt like, because I'm a stubborn idiot, I would have been like, F you, Joel. I wouldn't have waited till dawn. I'd have just dipped out on my own, been like, I don't need nobody. But, then I would have been dead. Because she do need somebody. She only 14. But me at 14, I was stubborn and I was an idiot. And that's what I would have did. But luckily that ain't what Elle did. Because, she got a little more sense than that. She's stubborn, but she got some sense. So we end up seeing Tommy come and get her the next morning in her room. She already up Adam and ready. But when they get to the stables, Joel is there. Like, I was going to steal a horse and dip out. This was hours ago. But he ended up being like, look, I still think you'll be better off with Tommy, but I guess it's a decision you can make. She don't even really let him finish the sentence. She like, nope, me and you going, let's go. And really, girl, I know you done bonded with Joel, but y'all, I really don't know. As I was watching, I was like, I don't know how much longer Joel can make. Joel is old, baby. Tommy need to take you, and Joel need to be able to stay in this town and just be the old man that he is. Like, look, Joel ain't gonna make it onto the Expendables team. Like, he aging, and he ain't Van Damme. He ain't Stallone. Like, he need to sit down somewhere. So Tommy ends up saying, it's a place here for y'all. It's a place here for both of y'all. Now we end up seeing Joel and Elle make another trip. I think they said it was like a 5-day trip. They finally make it to the college. And, with this show, I'm looking for death around the corner. I don't know what they finna run into, what's finna happen. They get to the college. The Fireflies have cleared out, which I'm like, what? Fireflies? Well, they don't keep leaving because the first spot they were supposed to be at, the infected got them. But I'm like, what is going on? And where is, what was the lady who was first with Elle? Damn it, I can't think of her name. Like, where is she at? Ain't you looking for Elle? Wasn't Elle supposed to get delivered to you? And this just keep irking me. Like, we trying to get to the Fireflies, baby. Are the Fireflies trying to get to us? We get to the college, the Fireflies are cleared out. It's like a packing list. And Joel is like, you only make a list like that when you finna leave. So obviously they made a decision to leave. Like, this wasn't a situation like the last one where infected got them. So they hear a noise upstairs. Baby, we don't know what we finna run into. We done ran into clickers. We done ran into the bloated infected. I don't know what other kind of infected they got around the corner. But kind of find out it's just monkeys. It's a lot of, we saw monkeys outside. The monkeys was in the building making a noise. Now, once we get upstairs and we figure out it's monkeys, though, we look out the window because we hear something and it's raiders. Luckily, not like a huge group, but I feel like it could be 2 people. And that's a lot for Joel right now, okay? I think it was like 4 raiders. And he tells Ellie, we got to dip out the back. And they get out the back, they get to their horse, but one of the raiders come up behind Joel. They end up having a fight. Joel wins, but when he turns around to Elle, he don't even notice, I guess, adrenaline. But Elle is looking and he looks down and he's stabbed. And the second he pulled the knife out, I was like, when you're stabbed with something, you're never supposed to pull it out. That's when having it stabbed in you is what's keeping all the blood in. Once you pull it out, all the blood gonna come flowing out. You never pull something out. But he pulls it out. And that's when the other, I think 3 raiders, because I want to say it was 4 altogether, come running over. So him and Elle jump on the horse, right? And they get away. And Elle is like, I don't think they following us. I don't know how far they got. I hope the horsepower was strong. I hope they got far away from the raiders. The raiders did not have any guns. And I want to say they were on foot. So hopefully the horse got us like far away. So that threat was just like a little quick threat and it ain't going to come back. But as they're going on a horse and Elle is like, look, I think we lost them. I don't think they following us. Y'all, Joel ends up killing over. He falls off the horse and probably passed out or fainted from blood loss. And Ellie is just like another emotional scene, more great acting. She's just like, Joel, I can't do this without you. And I'm really sitting here like, I don't know what they're going to do. I saw like a train. All I could think is, get from out in the open, get on the train car. We need to find a way to get the horse on the train car, so just in case somebody come by, they don't even know nobody here. They just see the abandoned train car that we just hide in there. Because I don't know what the hell she gonna do. Like, y'all, what is Ellie gonna do? And not even what she gonna do as far as any threats that come around, but with Joel, he's freaking stabbed. It was a lot of freaking blood. He was stabbed deep. That blade was pretty long, and the entire blade was stabbed into him. The only thing that was sticking out was the handle, child. So I don't know what she gonna do, because my unprofessional, I ain't a doctor opinion, just from what I know from movies, baby, you need to clean the wound so he don't get infected. And I think you can get like a blood infection or something. You need to close the wound. You need to stop the bleeding. All I know is maybe you need to burn it. What is that? Cauterize it. Close it up. Keep it clean. He need antibiotics. I don't know what she gonna do, child. She 14. And we're in the middle of nowhere. And it took us 5 days to get here, so I don't think she can like go run back for Tommy. And even if we weren't a whole 5 days away, like I said, I don't see her making it and facing like threats by herself. So I don't know what Ellie is gonna do, but it does look like the upcoming episode is more of a flashback, and they're gonna take us back. I want to say they're taking us back to when Elle first got bit, because remember she was at a mall. I want to say she was at a mall when she got bit, and when she said it wasn't her first time hurting somebody. I think we finna get some Elle backstory and the history on her. So that's what I think is coming up in the next episode. Hopefully, we get, we pick up the pace a bit. Still a good episode, but we was on the slower side. So hopefully we get some action coming up. But this was still a really good episode. I am still so in love with this show. I cannot wait for the next episode. Like literally, I can't wait. I need it to hurry up. Be Sunday. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I'll see you in the next one.